ahead and make that diamond shape in your legs a little bit longer. Or you can even bring your legs just in extension on your mat, lying in Shavasana. Beginning to close down your eyes if you haven't done so already. Really just making that connection with your mat. Noticing all the places where your body meets the earth. Allowing your body to become heavy here. A sense of letting go. Sort of turning yourself from the outside world, but instead towards your inside world. Really just taking comfort here in this place you call home. Feeling the safety of your body, the safety of your mat. And really just the safety of your practice. Yoga welcomes all bodies with open arms. A place of sweet refuge. And we know that our foundations aren't always perfect. Just noticing and accepting your body for what it is. And really just finding some gratitude for the structure itself. Creating a roof over your body, your soul. A basic need. Noticing your toes. Noticing your feet and ankles. Noticing your lower legs, your knees. Noticing your upper legs and your hips. Noticing your pelvis, your lower back. Noticing your abdomen and all the internal organs at work. Creating little miracles by the millisecond. Notice your middle back, your sternum. Notice your shoulder blades and each one of your ribs. collarbones, the tops of your shoulders. Notice your upper arms, your elbows. Notice your forearms, your wrists. Notice your thumbs and each of your fingers. Notice your earlobes, your chin. Feel your lips, your tongue. Notice your cheekbones, your nose, your brow. Notice your eyes, your hair, and your head. One full structure, a home. And begin to notice your breath. Feel the air draw into your body. Feel that sweet release as you exhale. Good. If you're in lying butterfly, we'll just get you to roll the knees back up towards the sky. If your legs are extended on your mat, you can also bend your knees. We'll walk our feet to the outer edge of our mat and allow the knees to fall inward. Take a hand, place it over your heart space. Begin to move that breath in deeper, past your hand. Feel your heart swell. Breathe that breath all the way down to your hips. Drawing it in and then releasing. And taking this time to check in with that heart space. Imagine you can feel it beneath your hand. All the emotions, all the wounds, all the love. Feel it all. And ask your heart in this time what it needs tonight from your practice. Could be physical, mental, emotional, could be spiritual even. Do not overthink this. Allow your heart to speak. Receive the words and make that your intention. Tonight I need safety. Maybe tonight I need to move my body. Whatever that intention looks like for you. Repeat it to yourself. Thank your heart for sharing. And we'll just set that intention at the top of our mat, returning to it from time to time. And then we'll take our 2 peace fingers and pop it right over top of our eyes. We'll drop into our B breath. So then taking our ring finger, placing it next to the nostril, and then the pinky will line up right at the crease of the lips, and your thumb will gently drop over the tragus of the ear, kind of the ear canal. We're gonna draw in nice and deep here. And then as we exhale, we are gonna hum like a bee, releasing tension from the body and doing this 4 times altogether. So go at your own pace. Remembering to cover off those senses. Last one. And release your hands down next to your side. We'll gently rock the knees a few times here, loosening up our hips. And then gently pull the knees towards your chest, giving yourself a big full body hug. Maybe even rock a couple of times side to side. Good, and then we'll just gently start to rock back and forth. Rocking and rolling a couple of times until we can make our way up into a seated and then tabletop position. We'll go ahead and move right into a cat-cow. So sinking that navel down as we inhale, lifting our chin and tailbone, and then rounding that spine as we exhale. Finding our own rhythm, even closing down the breath as we move our spine. Closing down our eyes, I should say. Don't stop breathing. Just move with your inhale and exhale through these. Good, 2 more full breath cycles. And then simply find a neutral spine. And then we'll sink back into a child's pose. So option to take the knees wide apart or keep them together, whatever is needed in your body. And just coming back to the safety of this pose. This is our posture that we can come to anytime. No questions asked. A simple way to return to our intention, return to our breath. Next, inhale, we'll walk the hands all the way over to the left side of our mat. And then sink our left glute to our left heel, bringing some opening to the right side of the body. Last big breath here. And next inhale, we'll walk all the way over to the right side of our mat. Sink the right glute down. Feel that stretch on the left. Last big breath. And next inhale, shift forward, back to tabletop position. And we'll just move through a little thread the needle flow here. So inhale, right hand is gonna come up to the sky. Exhale, thread it under just for a moment. And then inhale, take that hand back up to the sky. Exhale, lower. Inhale to take it up. Just finding that gentle twisting in the back. 2 more here. And this time, let's just drop the shoulder and take 2 long, deep breaths in our version of thread the needle. So left hand can come to the top upper corner. You might even take it to your lower back. You can even tuck it into the right hip crease. Last breath. Release the left hand beneath your left shoulder. And we'll come back tabletop. Left hand will reach up to the sky, finding that flow. Exhale, thread it under, drop for a moment. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Good. This is our last one. We'll just drop that left shoulder. Right hand can slide up to the right upper corner or to your lower back. Just settle here for a breath or 2. Release your right hand to your mat. And then come back, tabletop position. Let's go ahead and tuck our toes here. Send our hips up and back. First, downward facing dog. So making that V shape with your body. Feel free to paddle out the feet. Bringing some movement into the knee joints. Finding length in our hamstrings as we really create a nice flat, straight back as best that we can. One more big breath here as you walk your dog. And then finding some stillness and really seeing if you can sink that chest up and back. Finding some stillness while you open the hamstrings even more. Just allowing the heels to drop, but not forcing. open up, allowing the shoulders to come over the wrists. Option to lower down the knees. We'll hug those elbows in nice and tight. We'll lower down, chaturanga, nice and slow. And then inhale to a baby cobra. So bringing length through the back of the neck, creating that little shift forward in your heart space. And then releasing down as we exhale. Inhale, a little deeper cobra. Engaging those tricep muscles. And then exhale, lower down. One more time. Full inhale. Lifting yourself now, maybe deeper cobra. And exhale, lower down. Last one, full expression of your cobra. Maybe even lifting up into an up dog, really pushing into the tops of the feet. Creating a bit of a lift in your thighs. Remember to soften your shoulders. Good. Let's tuck those toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll do one more full vinyasa. So inhale, open up, plank pose. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. And inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath here. Good. Let's step our feet out to the wide edges of our mat. We'll slowly start to walk our hands back towards our feet. And coming to a bit of a forward fold here. Keeping the legs straight. And then just gently starting to bend one knee and then the other. So moving side to side. And then just preparing ourselves for a yogi squat. So you can pick up the toes, send them out to the side, creating an inward kind of motion or rotation with the heels, and then sink your seat bones down towards the mat. Open the knees up as best you can using your elbows to help you. The heels can be lifted if you need. Just finding length here in your spine. Keeping your belly button tucked in. And we'll take 2 more deep breaths here. Good, and then we'll find a little bit of a flow. So right hand is going to drop down to the inside of that right foot. Left hand is going to come up. And then we'll switch. Left hand comes on the inside of the left foot. Right hand reaches up. So just moving back and forth. Inhale to reach. Exhale to lower. Let's do one more each side. Good. And then placing those hands down on our mat, we will slowly start to take the hips up towards the sky. Heel toe those feet in through center, so they're hip distance apart, and come back to that full forward fold. You might even do a little ragdoll here, grabbing opposite elbows, swaying gently from side to side. Creating lots of length in those hamstrings as best you can. Last breath. Good. And then releasing those hands to your mat. And we'll start to walk the hands back out into a plank position. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, hop to the front. And then forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, creating that nice flat back to reset. And exhale, lower down. Let's do that again. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, lower down. Good. Tiny bend in the knees. Let's root to rise. Big arms circle up to the sky. Palms together. Exhale to heart. Let's continue to flow. Inhale to reach. And exhale, forward fold. Let's do a half sun salutation again. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, root to rise, big arms. Palms together, exhale to heart. Inhale to reach. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that vinyasa. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands, hop back to your plank. Flow here. An option to take a child if you need. Find your breath again. Return back to your intention. One more breath wherever you are. And if you're in a child's, we'll be back downward facing dog. Good. And then we'll send that right leg up to the sky. Three-legged down dog. Finding length all the way from your right wrist out towards that right heel. Sending energy up and out. And then bend the right knee. And we'll step the right foot to the front of our mat. Taking as many steps as you need to get it there. Staying up on the ball of that back foot. We'll inhale to reach the hands up to the sky. Coming into that high lunge position. Feeling strong here, rooting down through that front foot. Slowly drop that back heel to parallel or 45. Turning our hips to the long edge of our mat and open up warrior two. Soften your shoulders. Take your gaze over those front fingertips. Last breath. Good. And then we'll windmill those arms to frame that front foot. Rolling over back to the ball of the back foot. Lower down the back knee, untuck the toes. And we'll slowly open up, low lunge. Lifting that chest. Hands can come to your right knee. Deep breaths here. Feeling some opening in your left hip. Last breath. And then exhale, plant those hands. Tuck those back toes, lift that back leg, step it back, plank pose, and we'll flow here. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good, a big breath again here. And then we're actually gonna drop down into dolphin. So bending the elbows and dropping the forearms towards the mat. And really continuing to find that gentle pushing back with the chest. Imagine kind of pulling them up towards the thighs. Allowing some weight to be held in those elbows. Really working the upper back here. You can always bend into the knees to take some pressure off of maybe your hamstrings or knees. 2 more full deep breaths here. Good, and on your next inhale, we'll plant our hands back into the mat. Open up plank pose. And then flow here. Finding your up dog or cobra. And then sending the hips up and back. Good, and then left foot is going to reach up to the sky. Again, really find length through that heel. Sending energy up and back. And then bend that knee. We'll send it to the front of our mat. Planting it there. Stay on the ball of the back foot. We'll inhale. Allow ourselves to come up into that high lunge position. Good. Feel strong here. Find that balance. Allow your right hip to open up. And then gently drop that back heel, turning that foot to parallel. And we'll find our warrior 2. Reaching the hands outward, palms facing the earth. Taking that gaze over those front fingertips. Feel strong and stable here. Really root down through your feet. Notice if that knee is collapsing inward. Point it over the middle toe. Good, last breath. And then windmill those arms, framing that front foot. Coming again to the ball of the back foot, we'll drop that knee, untuck the toes. And come back up to our low lunge. You're sinking in here. Again, just creating some opening in that right hip. Last breath. Good, and then drop those hands back down towards the mat. We'll tuck the back toes, pick up that knee, step back to plank, and we'll move into side plank here. So left hand moves to the middle of the mat. Roll over onto the feet, right hand reaches up towards the sky. Option to lower that left knee down to the mat to help stabilize you, or to modify the pose. But if you're staying lifted, hug that belly button into the core. Maybe take your gaze up to the right hand. Feel maybe your body shake. I'm shaking too. Last breath. Good. Drop the right hand down back to regular plank, and then roll it over. Left hand reaches up to the sky now. Take those modifications as you need, and maybe take your gaze up towards the left hand. Use your core here. Hug the belly button in. Last breath. Good. Drop the hand down. Let's flow here. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And push back, downward facing dog. Taking 2 or 3 big cleansing breaths here. So drawing in deep through your nose. And sighing it out nice and heavy. Again, big inhale. Big release. Beautiful. Now we'll step our feet towards the middle of the mat. Turn the toes outward, and we'll sink back into that Malasana yogi squat pose again. And then we'll just have some fun with crow. So if you've never done this before, you can place some pillows kind of along the front of your mat to give you like a little bit of cushioning. And sometimes what I like to use is something to perch on. So I will use sometimes a block to help me lift up to find like a better angle at finding that perch. So for crow pose, we can plant our hands into the mat about a foot in front of us. Really root down through your fingertips, spreading them wide and creating that nice solid base. And then just simply start to bend into the elbows to create a little bit of a shelf that you can place your knees onto. And then just sort of see what it feels like to perch there by lifting your bum up into the air, hugging the core muscles in really tight, and then exploring what would it feel like to take off. So maybe lifting one foot and then the other. And just being really playful in this pose. And just finding that sweet spot of balancing your body weight. So again, maybe a little more advanced pose. Even I'm working on, getting that higher lift, where there's less pressure being held on my elbows, but rather using my core to pull myself up. So again, just things that we can work towards. Not really the goal of yoga to, conform to these more advanced poses, but it's also a place to get curious in the body. So once you're done playing, taking flight, you can simply come down to our knees, find a nice tall spine here. Return to our breath. Maybe even close our eyes. Really just return to that intention again. Maybe it's shifted a little. Maybe it's giving you a new perspective. Just noticing. And on your next inhale, send the feet out to the front of your mat. And then take the feet wide apart, finding a nice tall spine, rooting down through your seat bones. Flexing the feet so the toes are up towards the sky. And then we'll simply walk our feet forward, our hands forward, finding length in our spine. And then just continuing to work our edge. So sinking down without really putting any extra strain on the neck or upper back. Rather just feeling that opening in the hamstrings, maybe even the calves. Return to your breath. Last inhale. Be sinking a little deeper as you exhale. And then we'll gently walk the hands back in towards the body, bringing our spine upright. And then we'll simply roll down onto our backs, squeezing the knees in towards the chest. And then we'll extend our left leg out on our mat. And gently draw the right knee across the body over to the left side of our mat. Planting our shoulders onto the mat as best we can, and then taking that gaze over our right shoulder. Settling here. Last 2 breaths. On your next inhale, we'll roll back onto our backs and send the right leg out on our mat. Left knee pulls into our chest now. And we'll gently draw it across the body over to the right side of our mat now. We'll find that one knee twist, keeping the shoulders planted. Maybe take your gaze over the left shoulder now. Close down your eyes perhaps and just feel the benefits of this twist. Imagine wringing out the body, releasing tension and stress, kind of like dusting out the broom closets. Reorganizing the pantry. Taking care of our home. 2 more breaths. Next inhale, we'll roll back onto our backs. And if you have a block handy or a pillow or a blanket, you might go ahead and use that. Or you can even slide yourself over to a wall. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So bringing your bums close to the wall, and we'll just move into legs up the wall pose. If you don't have a wall that's sort of handy or free, just pop your bum up onto a block and just take the feet up towards the sky. We're going to go ahead and take our Shavasana in this very restorative pose. So this really isn't your thing. You can go ahead and just relax into a lying Shavasana. So wherever you are, just begin to settle into the pose. Shavasana translates to corpse pose. Total stillness, no work. Maybe allowing those shoulder blades to tuck deeper under the back so you can really let go of your shoulders. Allow them to fall open. And scan your body. This physical being. Your home. Just notice how it feels now. Give it permission to surrender to the stillness. And return to your breath. Choosing to stay here for as long as you need. Perhaps even turning the video off. Returning back to life when you feel ready. But if you are ready, body with your inhale. And gently release. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes. Maybe even circle the ankles and the wrists. And gently begin to bend one knee and then the other. Maybe even giving yourself a full body hug. And then eventually we'll just walk ourselves over to one side. Taking a moment in your fetal position. Really just taking this time to honor your practice. Honoring the self-care. Moving your body. Filling up your cup. Really taking pride in creating a beautiful home for your heart and soul. Shelter, one of the most basic necessities in life. Something we all have. Our physical being. With your eyes low or closed, we'll gently make our way back up into a seated position. So whatever that looks like for you, just finding a nice tall spine. Dropping your hands to your lap, we will take 2 cleansing breaths here. Drawing in nice and deep through your nose. Parting your lips and sighing it out. One more time. Big inhale. Big release. Beautiful. Bring your hands to your heart center. Bow your chin. And just return back to that intention. Maybe choosing to take it with you into your life off of the mat. Or maybe just leaving it here. Thanking your heart for sending you those messages. And really for finding that safety here in your home. For tending to it. Remembering that internal environment. Namaste.